A fantastic idea from Brisbane's Lord Mayor. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Now, often we'll discuss ideas, policies and, well, things that are implemented from politicians, political parties or movements, and it can be quite frustrating and frankly depressing, particularly when there doesn't seem to be any common sense or even reason behind them. Obviously, many of them are just simple short-term vote grabs to, keep the masses happy. But this is an idea that I saw on LinkedIn from the Mayor of Brisbane that I need to share because it's a fantastic idea solving a real problem. So let's check this out here. So this is from our Brisbane's Lord Mayor. The number of people sleeping in tents or in their cars right now is heartbreaking. And he's right. There's people in the middle of Brisbane who are sleeping in tents. I thought it was another tent city type of thing. But no, it's people who've been kicked out of their homes, living in Musgrave Park. There are 500 empty beds at the Pinkenba quarantine facility that the government now says will be kept closed until a future crisis. Okay, so they've got this facility there that's not being used. We don't have a crisis. Then maybe it could be used for another purpose, even if temporarily. People experiencing homelessness are facing a crisis right now, and this facility needs to be put to use immediately. We stand ready to work with TransLink and provide additional bus services to the facility as required. I know this facility wasn't built as crisis accommodation, but it's a huge step up from the cars and tents people are sleeping in at the moment. And the facility, and he shows an animation there, but I've captured it. It's, I'm assuming, it's modular accommodation. It's fine. It is perfectly fine. It may not tick all the performance boxes for some crisis accommodation, but I'm certain they could modify and manage the risks in a facility like that to address those issues. They look fine. We have a look here. Here's some images before we look at what he's asking people to sign up to. I mean, there you go. It's like a donga mining camp, okay? It's not that bad. It's fine. Better than living in a car. Look at that. There's nothing wrong with that. You would pay good money to stay in a hotel like that. That's clean. And there you go. They've got facilities, commercial kitchen facilities there and waiting. And, well, if we have a look here, what the mayor is calling on, let's read through this here. So, he's looking for a petition. The number of people sleeping rough in their cars right now, including young people and children, is truly heartbreaking. Council's dedicated public space officers work really hard to link homeless people with the assistance and services they need and have a history of achieving great outcomes. However, the situation right now is nothing short of a crisis. Our officers are being regularly told by the incredible people who operate community support organisations there's simply no place to put people. It's a full house. Yet at the same time, there are 500 beds sitting idle at the federal government's brand new quarantine facility at Pinkenba. The facility was built for a crisis. Well, guess what? We have a crisis, and I believe this facility needs to be put to use right now. Federal and state governments should be working together to do whatever is necessary to get a professional operator to open the Pinkenba facility, even if it's just temporary. Our council stands ready to work with TransLink to provide the facility with additional bus services if required. I personally toured the facility with community group leaders. I know it wasn't built to be crisis accommodation, but neither were cars. Since the state government's housing summit, there's been some good initiatives come forward from governments and community leaders. However, there's no quick fix to this crisis, and we all need to continue working together to help homeless people find a home. So he's calling for adding your voice to it. And I will put a link to this. The Pinkenba quarantine facility, it should be used immediately to help homeless people find a home. Now, I can't imagine anyone who would not support an initiative like this. The facility's already been built. The government's already pissed away the money. Okay? We're all well aware of that. This was just a showpiece to buy votes when people were scared and terrified. All of these things were. Use it to take care of people who are losing their homes. Help people who need it. It's there. Find a way to make it work. It's not something that you couldn't overcome. The logistics here would not be too hard to flip this into a facility that could be used for crisis accommodation. You could put up some fencing between different areas to zone it off, so you've got different groups, and then have security patrol it. Why not? What's wrong with that? Anyway, guys, I thought I would share this with you because I think it's a good initiative, and we should congratulate the Lord Mayor for pushing for something like this to try and get a solution right now. And if you're interested, put your voice to it. I'll link to it. I'll pin it down below in the comments, as us YouTubers do, and let's have a bit of a talk, guys. What do you reckon? Where would you rather live? In your car? Rough couch surfing somewhere? Or in a facility like this, even if it was for a short term? You know what would be really good? If they could cordon off a section of it, and it could be crisis accommodation for fathers and their children who are fleeing domestic violence situations. Years ago, I interviewed 2 blokes who were trying to set one up in Bundaberg. Sadly, couldn't get ahead. There isn't a facility in the country that addresses that. And if you're foolish enough to believe the propaganda that intimate partner violence isn't bilateral, you're pretty out of date. You need to look into the statistics, because the reality is different to what people perceive, or to what the media pushes. Anyway, guys, I think this is fantastic. Good to see our mayor getting out there and pushing it forward. Let's see if the different parties come together to find a solution. That's what you got to do sometimes. As always, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support us, you can. Check out HeiseBim and HeiseDoes. I promise I will put content up there eventually. I'm flat out at the moment. It's been a bit crazy right now with the house. We got the slab pour coming in a week, and we need to get a whole lot finished. You can support us financially on YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links, buy our pocket squares, or call us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and I will see you all at the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now. I mean, that didn't look too bad, that facility. It's better than just sitting there empty. Getting it using it means it won't mothball as quick, because they're still having to maintain it. There you go. I wonder what the bureaucratic issues are. You'd probably have families there. It should be fine. Yeah, they'll make it work. They'll find a way to make it work. You could adapt it to use. You'd have to.